All right. Shake out. Guys ready? I'm ready.
Hello and welcome to the Cavern of Terror.
It is officially time to go through the detailed breakdown of the Scream 2022 or Scream 5 trailer. Yes, guys, I told you I was going to do this, and I'm going to go through this trailer. Now, a couple of things that I need to tell you before we get started here, and I don't want this intro to be overly long. I am going to break this thing down in very meticulous detail, okay? I've broken it down in my iMovie, and I've moved some things around. I've reordered some parts of the trailer just to have things make a bit more sense in context to what is actually going on in these different scenes that they have broken up for the trailer to entertain all of us. So, without going into way too much detail in the beginning of this video, because this is supposed to be the intro, let's break down this trailer.
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
Doors unlocked. All doors locked. Doors unlocked.
We get that homage to the opening scene of Scream, the original 1996 film. At the very beginning of this, we get a shot of the White House, which is very familiar to the opening of the original movie. We get the scene with Jenna Ortega's character of Tara, that's at the very beginning of the trailer, that is very similar to the Drew Barrymore scene in the original. Now, let's break this down a little bit more. This scene right here has a lot of people thinking that it's the very beginning of the movie. I do not think that, and we will get into that later in the trailer for sure. But what is happening here is Ghostface is actually stalking Jenna Ortega's character of Tara. You remember in the original Scream where they were cloning cell phones? I think they took that one step further here, and they actually found a way to duplicate a text message from her girlfriend Amber's phone. I think that Ghostface is found a way to get that number to text Tara's character, and I will get into why I think that later because of some situations that happen later in the trailer. But this is the biggest part of the trailer for me, and that's actually talking about more than one Ghostface. Why do I think that there may be more than one Ghostface? Well, if we go through this part of the trailer, which I should have it up in the background here with me still narrating, you'll see that there is a small transition. If you're familiar with editing, the transition shot is just like black space or a way to move the camera around to get to a different part. But I think what they're doing here is making you think that there may be two different Ghostface. I think that this scene is actually a lot longer than we actually think it is. Case in point, check out this still that they put out for the promotion. That's right, guys. This scene actually starts out with Tara on the landline phone. So this is a much longer scene. There is a clever edit here, and I don't know. Is there more than one Ghostface in this movie? There may be. There may be 3 Ghostface killers in this movie. Who knows? There may only be 1. But that's just the opening scene. We have a lot more to talk about. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is the Ghostface action. There's going to be a lot of Ghostface action that I talk about in this trailer, in this breakdown. We see that there are 2 more sequences from this opening shot, this opening scene in the trailer with Jenna Ortega and Ghostface. We see that nasty leg break that happens near the end. I've moved that up to the front. We've also saw that shot where Ghostface is saying, "Sydney, it's been an honor," or "it is an honor," which is an awesome line, but that goes over a part that belongs in this scene at the very beginning of the trailer. You see the same artwork in the background. You see that this is the same kitchen because you see that oven in the background as well. So I've moved those parts up here to show you that all of that takes place in this sequence at the very beginning of the trailer. Can we say just how badass Ghostface looks in this opening part of the trailer? I mean, come on. Now, I have told you that I have reordered this trailer several times at this point, so you have been warned. Now we're going to talk about the Cal Gowner scene, okay? The Vince scene.
Something about this one just feels different.
As I said earlier, I don't think that that opening scene in the trailer is the actual opening of the movie. I actually think that this scene right here is the opening of Scream 2022. As we can tell, we get Ghostface here with the car. As I've edited it out, you see that he gets attacked by Ghostface. You see that awesome shot of the building with the graffiti in the background. And I honestly think, guys, that this is the opening kill of the movie. Are you going to tell us why you think Vince is the first one to go? Why you think Kyle Gallner is the first one to die in this movie? Of course, I'm going to tell you why. I honestly think, guys, that he is the catalyst. He is the reason why we figure out that the killer in this movie is going after relatives of the killers of the first movie.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
I think that Kyle Gallner's character of Vince is actually a relative of Billy Loomis. I really do think so. Why? Because he's the only one that we don't have a last name for. He's the only one that has very, very little screen time in this trailer, aside from another character that we will talk about later. But, guys, it just feels like it's that scene that really gets things going. Okay, so the next sequence that we're going to break down here is actually the conversation that Dewey has in the trailer, which I think is awesome. To be honest with you guys, I think it's really good. He's really gravelly here in this sequence, and I'm going to play this clip.
3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Rules to surviving.
Okay, so you guys have seen what I'm about to talk about here. I think there are 2 different scenes of Dewey in his house in this movie. I think there's one scene where he's talking to either Sydney or Gail on the phone about having a gun. Yes, we're going to talk about that scene at the beginning, or sequence at the beginning, where Sydney is like running. Nev Campbell has like this sports like running attire on, and whatever it is, and she gets a phone call. Now, if you listen to the audio, it sounds a little off. Like he's having 2 different conversations. Like the phone conversation has been cut up. He could possibly have been on the phone with Melissa Barrera's character of Sam and her boyfriend Richie, because they do show a shot of Sam and Richie on the couch. Now, you can see the coat that Sam is wearing. It's the same coat that she's wearing in the other scene later in the trailer, where she is explaining that the killers are going after, or killer is going after, the relatives of the original killers. You can see that that is the same coat. So this is where I can pop in that little sequence where Melissa Barrera and I believe Richie is in the background. You can see in the video where Sydney shows up in the movie. This is after she's been called. She shows up. This is when all that is going down. This scene just extends into meeting some of the side characters. We get to see the Meeks kids. We get to see Wes, who's named after Wes Craven, Dylan Minette's character. That is Judy Hicks' son. If you don't know, Judy Hicks was the deputy of Dewey's in Scream 4. We get to meet him. We get to meet Liv McKenzie, which is a new character. Call back to the original. Let's go over to the Mackenzies, or go over to the Mackenzies and call the police. That's a really cool thing, and I don't think anybody has talked about yet. So we get to see those characters, and we get to see basically, or hear basically, Sid breaking down the situation for Melissa Barrera's character of Sam. We could say, this is your life now. This is what happens to you. This killer is not going to stop. I've lived through this for 4, going on 5 movies now, and you have to be ready. From here, guys, I think we actually get one of the craziest and one of my favorite shots in the whole trailer is actually Judy Hicks driving like a wild person down the road. And then we actually get this shot which I think this is a really cool shot, and I'm going to pause on this shot so we can really see it, because we've never seen Ghostface actually attack someone during the day. Have we seen Ghostface during the day before? Yes, during the convenience store scene in the original movie. We've seen Ghostface before. We've seen people pretending to be Ghostface in the original movie as well, throughout the school, with the guy that runs by the three of the characters in the hallway. We see that. But guys, this is a really, really cool shot, and I can't help but think that maybe this is where Wes dies in the movie. Well, how else will we ever get that reaction of Judy Hicks in the car, possibly being taunted by Ghostface in the scene? This actually looks really, really cool, and that's one of the things going on here. Right here, guys, I decided to place some shots that, are a little bit too small, just things that I want to talk about here. This really cool shot of Ghostface coming down with the knife, the purple lighting in the background. You guys, you know how I feel about purple. It's my favorite color. It looks really cool on screen, and man, I love atmosphere. And it looks like this movie is going to be bringing the atmosphere. We get to see one of the Meeks kids being attacked by Ghostface. And we get to see a pretty red herring-ish shot of the character of Liv here. Really interesting little shots to be shown here, just to get people thinking, really.
There's certain...
Whatever his link is to our past.
Moving on to the hospital. Okay, this is where I think the bulk of this trailer really goes down, as we see a lot of really cool shots of David Arquette here as Dewey walking through the hospital, getting attacked by Ghostface. We actually see Richie get attacked by Ghostface here. We see Melissa Barrera's character, Sam, running through in a completely different outfit that she was wearing earlier. So that scene where she's talking to Sidney Prescott or Neve Campbell, I think that might actually be the police station and not the hospital in that sequence there. This shows her in a completely different outfit. But just digging a little bit deeper here, we're going to see the person in the wheelchair. And that, I believe, if you look down at the bottom at the cast on the leg, this is Sam's sister, Tara. All of these characters are in this scene at one point. They're here protecting Jenna Ortega or Tara's character. You see Ghostface attacking. You see David Arquette being badass here. This is really, really good stuff. Do we see a death here? Because the next shot is Courtney Cox looking like Dewey just died. Does he die in this movie? I have no idea. But what other character would cite that kind of a reaction from Courtney Cox's character of Gale Weathers? I don't think anybody would other than Dewey.
Hello, Sydney. An honor.
Let's pull this all back here. You ready for this? Never. He's in the ground.
We are here. We are at the pièce de résistance of this trailer. We get to see the Stu house sequences. Guys, we got a lot of stuff going down here. We got Amber's character in the house, terrified of something. Did she just see someone die? Did she see a dead body? I don't know what happens here, but you see her running out of the house. You see her, clutching her stomach like she got attacked by Ghostface, maybe in this scene. You get to see Melissa Barrera as Sam, getting down, fighting someone in this with the knife. You get to see someone on fire. This is where everything gets crazy here, guys. We also get to see Gale Weathers and Sidney Prescott here at the end. You get to see them shooting Ghostface. I think that shot where Ghostface is coming out of the house because Sid pulls the gun and just starts, I think she goes to shoot because her face just goes like this. Guys, it's really cool stuff here. This is where all the speculation starts flying. Okay, so the big thing that I've noticed from this third act that's called of this trailer here, that Stu's house is very much set up like there's a party going on there. I feel like there's a lot of characters actually in this scene, and I feel like this is set up to be that party scene from the original movie. You know, you see all the, you know, cups and beer bottles everywhere. Maybe they actually know someone that lives in this house, or it's been set up for the killers. You know, the killer actually has set this place up to, you know, reenact the ending of the original movie. I don't know. Maybe someone new lives here. You know what I mean? Maybe someone new lives in this house and the characters know this character. It's all theories at this point. But this is really cool. And if the killer has done that, has really set this place up to be the final, you know, showdown, if you will, it's really freaking cool. Yes, guys, I think we finally reached the end of the video. And yes, I did do a little bit more of breakdown here. I actually did a lot of theorizing throughout this, but I think that's what this trailer wants you to do. As the directors have said, this was a very deceptive trailer. Maybe things that we've seen here don't actually happen. Maybe they've put deleted scenes in the trailer that has happened before. That was in the Scream 4 trailer. We actually had that whole wraparound with the fountain. That was actually deleted from the full movie. That was a deleted scene that they added to the Blu-ray. So maybe some of these scenes aren't even in the film. This is, I think, designed for us to speculate, for us to talk about what we think is going to happen in Scream 2022. Yes, I realize I did not bring up the whole, hello, Sydney. It's an honor. I didn't bring that up because I think I would have saved that for a theories video. I might do a theories video on this and just really dive into the theories on Scream 5 or Scream 2022. But yes, guys, I broke down the new trailer. I did as much as I could for you, and this thing is full of spoilers, so if you really don't want to know, I don't know if they're spoilers or not, but I know that people will try to think that these are spoilers because we're trying to break this thing down and figure out what's going on. You take what you want to believe from this video. If you've watched this video, you really want to know what this movie is going to be about, or what I think this movie is going to be about. I had a lot of fun doing this video, so let me know, what did you think of the breakdown? Let me know down in the comments down below what you think is going to happen in Scream 2022. I'll be happy to chop it up with you guys down there, or stab it up with you guys down there. But I had a really good time doing this video. If you want to see more Scream content, please let me know that down in the comments down below as well. And if you want that theories video, let me know. But if you like this video, make sure you give it a like, guys. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit notifications to all. That way you get notified about all my future content. If you don't, you'll only get notified some of the time, and you think I'm not putting out videos when I actually am. But most importantly, what is your favorite scary movie? Mine's Scream. But most importantly, guys, I've been Zach. This has been the Cavern of Terror. Stay metal, my friends.
3, 2, 1.